Was that in reference to anything specific?
Yeah, you know what that was.
Yeah.
Brad, I mean, what were the emotions and how you kind of come to grips and process what went on last night?
Still hard to do. You see, I'm trying to make light of the situation, but you know, it's a shitty feeling. Excuse my language. It definitely is. You know, you have huge expectations for yourself as a team, and obviously, you know, individually, to contribute and you know be a part of something really big. And that series just sucked. And obviously, the last game for me was horrible. So it's hard to process, but you know, you're a man. You take it on. You know, you take it in stride. Learn how to get better from it, and look forward to the summer to get better. How we can be better. How I can be better. And yeah, that's it. But it is hard to process. So.
When you look at your game, obviously foul trouble, missed shots, all that played into it. What do you feel like just snowballed for you last night?
Yeah, it was kind of like I had a suicide vest on last night. Like it was, you know, excuse the reference, but like it's like I could do no right almost. Like I couldn't find the game in a way. And there's no excuse for that, but it's just kind of the reality of what happened, what transpired throughout the game. Being in foul trouble early sucks. And obviously, you're trying to catch up to the game, catch the rhythm, and can't find it, and you start pressing a little bit.
How challenging was it for you this year?
I didn't know I was done.
Going over from two guard to point guard. How challenging?
Oh
was
man.
For you?
I mean, it was challenging, but it wasn't. I mean, it was something I was willing to do. I mean, it was what the team needed, you know. It wasn't the most ideal thing, but it was what the team needed, and I was comfortable with it, you know. I don't think it's tough in today's society. Like, it's not really. Everybody keeps saying a true point guard. There's not really many true point guards that play in today's game. Like, it's a lot of combo guards and a lot of scoring guards. And, it's about initiating our offense, and we just could have all been better in that fashion. I could have been better, just pushing the pace and taking care of the ball a lot better than what I did. But I was comfortable with it, man. Like I'm able to handle the ball. I'm able to handle pressure, and it was just some dumb passes and silly mistakes and just unfathomable, whatever that word is, unfathomable passes and just thinking out there. But I mean, we were all booked same thing. Like we were all just comfortable handling the ball, you know. Point guard or not point guard label, we didn't really care about that.
Brad, when you look at when you came off the court, out of the optics with you and Vogel, it looks a certain way. When you ran past him, it looked like your hand went one way because it's being viewed as, you know, sort of brushing off. Because Coach had his hand out. Did you seen this clip?
I didn't see it.
Okay, because he was coming off the court.
Yeah, I slapped him hard.
Right.
Oh, I was frustrated with fouls, and I knew I was coming out. It wasn't nothing against Coach. I'm sorry if that probably did look bad, but no, it wasn't. I was more frustrated with myself and being in foul trouble. Like I knew I was coming out the game. Like he was doing his job. He was being smart, saving me. Like it wasn't nothing towards Coach. No, there's nothing there.
Right. It seemed like that you guys were kind of chasing expectations all season. How would you just describe the regular season and getting to this point, just with the highs and lows?
I mean, in retrospect, when we won 49 games, you know, that's a lot of games. And I missed 30 games, roughly 30 games.
Something like 53, 52, something like that.
Like that's a lot of games. Like we're a 51 team. Not saying we'd won every game if I'd have played, but we'll be in a totally different position if I'm healthy through the whole year, if everybody's healthy through the whole year. But nonetheless, I think, you know, obviously you have the highs and lows of the season. Everybody has them, but, you know, I think there's also some games that, you know, we wish we would have had back, some games that we know we could have won and probably should have won that, you know, may have cost us in the end. But I mean, the chips fall where they do, you know. I think we still had a good regular season. I think it was still successful. Still had a winning season, winning record. Um, and that's something that we can build on, for sure. But there's still room for improvement, 100%.
As you look at this season as a whole, injuries aside, can you pinpoint maybe why this team wasn't able to get over the hump?
Oh, man, it's tough. I mean, it's not just one thing. I mean, we kind of had a lot of bad hands dealt, but I mean, that's every team in the NBA. You know, we lost Grayson game 3 and 4. You know, like that stinks. You know, so it's like we've been dealt some bad hands throughout the year, but that's every team. You know, we can't just chuck it up to just one specific area. Like our defensive effort and like abilities on that end could have been better. Like I mean, it's not just one thing. That's what's tough. You know. But at the end of the day, the talent's there. I think the willpower is there. And it just didn't fall in our favor.
It's obvious what Book said last night, that he gave a whole shopping list of details that he thinks needed to get better. But one of the primary things he said was communication needs to get better. And he named you, him, Durant, and the coach. What do you think needs to be done better among your group to communicate better?
I mean that's kind of a simple thing in retrospect. Like, you know, just talk more, just being more vocal about what you like, don't like, being more opinionated about stuff. I'm not sure exactly what he's referencing, because I mean it's a lot of, like, we don't communicate well on defense, so that can be a part of communication. In terms of coach, I think it's more or less kind of just like how we're playing, just the flow of the game, putting him and Kay specifically in positions to score and succeed, and I think just talking it out, you know. I think I don't really know what he's referenced. I can't really speak for Book, but I'm just kind of just thinking of a comment.
Do you feel the communication was good?
I think it was good. Obviously, it could be better. I think it could have been better for sure. But everything could have been better, you know. That's just me as a person. That's me in my mindset of things. Like, everything could be better. Nothing's perfect, you know. So.
I mean, it's obvious it was disappointing end of the season. You're owning up to it. But do you feel like you kind of said, that you guys could build on something here? Like, if you get another run at this and you stay healthy and you guys get more games together as far as the big three and so on?
Yeah, 100%. You know, you still gotta. You know, we didn't look at this thing as a 1-year thing, and you know we're gonna come in and just we only got this year to figure it out. Like, you know, we got time. You know, you don't want to use that as like a cop out, but you know, and just the reality we live in, like that's the game plan. You know, we have a window. Yeah, it's a short window, but we have a window. You know, so we want to maximize it as much as possible, and obviously we still have a lot of room to grow. We all have to be better. I got to be better, and we all have to be better as an organization and move towards that goal of winning the title, which isn't easy. You know, we're not going to sit here and say it's easy. Like, you know, when everything happened in summer and moves were made, like everybody had that. Oh, this is it. But you still got to work out the kinks. You still got to make sure it fits well and everybody's on the same page and we're working towards that same goal. And I think everybody has that mindset. It just didn't fall.
Right, to everyone's questions.
Excuse me?
To build off that, do you believe Frank should be back next year?
I think Frank's a good coach. I think Frank's a great coach. I think he's a proven, obviously, winner. He has a ring behind him. That's not really a question I like answering, because I'm not responsible for coaches having jobs, being hired or being fired or whatever. I love the staff that we had. For me, this was like an open book for me because it was new. Frank's new, the staff was new, so I was going into everything with just an open mindset, open, just welcoming everything and learning kind of everybody along the fly. And Frank's an awesome guy, and he's a great coach. So whether what that looks like, that's not up to me. I don't know really what you want me to say. I know you're really baiting me into a question I don't like.
Brad, to your point on the point guard questions and all of these questions that come, it's less about the position itself and more about the three of you beginning and initiating possessions and improving on that process, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's just developing like what kind of offense we want to have and just the flow of that. And it's tough to do when everybody's not healthy. We're figuring out lineups. You make a trade, and you gotta get those guys acclimated into what we do. And you're doing that all on the fly of a year while trying to make up games and win games, and make up for mistakes that we made earlier in the season. But for sure, like that's the modern day NBA. Like it's a free flowing offense. Hell, Jokic brings the ball up. You see Nurk bring the ball up. Like, I mean, everybody has the abilities. It's all about pressure release, initiating your offense as fast as you can. And it's just something we got to build on.
When I mention or say the best offense to utilize you three, like what comes to mind in terms of like the key attributes for the offense next year?
It's tough, man. We're really dynamic in a lot of things, and I think we're best when we're free flowing and just a lot of space on the floor, playing high pick and rolls, forcing teams. When we force teams to collapse and the ball's popping, we're generating those extra passes to swing threes. Like that's when we look really good, So we have those spurts, and obviously. KD in the post, books ISOs, like those are dominant things. But I think our spacing and stuff could have been better at times, and that's just in growth. But we have a lot of things offensively and a lot of weapons that we can utilize and build on. I think it's our defensive mindset and our presence that needs to be the biggest focus.
Thanks, Brad.